Hello and welcome back to another Flow video. This is Jacob Tucker, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to deploy a contract to Flow testnet or mainnet. So the first step you're going to have to do is to install the Flow CLI because we're going to be deploying the contract with the CLI. So I'll include a link to this in the description. But if you're on Mac, you can either use Homebrew or a pre-built binary. Linux and Windows are also here as well. You can do that simply by just opening a terminal on your computer and pasting one of these commands into your terminal. And once it is finished, you should be able to type flow version and see a version appear here. Now, if something doesn't appear, then it hasn't installed correctly. You can see that I'm using v1.9.2. So if you're using a future version and it's for some reason not working, you can try to downgrade to this version that I'm using right now. Okay, so now that we have done that, let's just go ahead and open this folder in VS Code. And you can see that I have a contract here called Hello World. And what I want to do is I want to deploy this contract onto Flow testnet. Now, this is going to be the exact same as mainnet and also, frankly, emulator. But I'll show you how it differs along the way. So first of all, in order to actually deploy this contract, we need an account. And so if you already have an account, you can skip forward a bit, but I'm going to show you how to set that up inside your project. So what I'm going to do is type flow init in my terminal, and that's going to open up a flow JSON here. Now you can see there's two objects, a networks and an accounts. We want to add our account to this accounts object. So if you don't have an account, then do the following. You can run flow accounts create, and then let's just name this like testnet-account. And it's going to ask us for what network we want to create this account for. I'm going to choose testnet. So if we click on testnet here, it should finish this in a couple seconds. And we can see that it actually populates the new testnet account with the address here and a testnet account.private key. So this is the private key for this account. Now, obviously, you never want to show anyone your private key, but this is just for testing purposes. And again, if this was for mainnet, you would just maybe name this something like mainnet account, and then you would choose mainnet in that networks option that we just went through. So now that we have this account, oh, and by the way, if you already have your account, it's as simple as just giving it a name. You can name it anything you want, providing an address field, and then also the key where you put, the key to that inside a separate file. Now, make sure that if you have your own private key, you have to put 0x in front of it. So just make sure that you put 0x in front of it if you had your own account. Okay. So now we can go ahead and deploy. Now, in order to do that, there needs to be a couple steps. First of all, we have to make a contracts object. Now, this contracts object, we have to actually specify where the contract that we want to deploy is inside of our project. So this is the name of the contract, and we can say this actually lives at /helloworld.cdc, right? Because the file is right here. And if you had any other contracts, you also want to add those here too. So let's say Hello World, depended on or imported another contract, you would make sure that you also listed that imported contract here as well. So after you do that, you can simply make a deployments object. And inside of here, we need to specify the network, so testnet, and then the name of the account that we want to deploy to, which is testnet account. So testnet is the network, and then under that is testnet account, which is the name of the account that we gave it right here. Now, inside of this array, we simply just put the contract names that we want to deploy. Now, remember, if, let's say, for some reason, Hello World imported a contract called test, we would want to put test first, then Hello World, right? So you have to deploy in the order that they are imported. Okay? So now that we have this, we can go back to, let's just clear everything. We can run flow project deploy --network equals testnet. And if this was for mainnet, you would obviously put mainnet. And so it's going to run here. And let's just give it a couple seconds to finish here. Okay, so it's already deployed. So let's actually take this address and go to contract browser, which is how you discover contracts on Flow. Paste this in, and it should appear right here. So I think if it appears in orange, that means it's testnet. And we can click on contracts and see that Hello World is right here. And boom, this is our contract on testnet now, which is amazing. So that's about it. That is how you would deploy on testnet. I hope that helped.